And you know what? You're gonna have to bail me out of jail. I'm gonna go show that.
The Nick Reiner thing. The kid was schizophrenic. He doesn't even remember doing it, so he can't really be held responsible. So he can't go to a federal prison for the rest of his life, and he can't be brought up on the death penalty.
So can you share anything or at least tell us a little bit about what you've uncovered in the special?
I can be specific. So a month before the murders, Nick was on antipsychotic meds. Nick had been diagnosed around 2020 with a form of schizophrenia. We know this. It is called schizoaffective disorder. It is a severe form of schizophrenia that not only involves psychosis, delusions, but also involves severe mood disorders.
Insiders say the decision did not come easily, but it was final, unanimous, and devastating. The Reiner family would no longer fund Nick Reiner's legal defense. In the words attributed to those close to the family, the message was blunt and heartbreaking. He's on his own.
So what's left? I'll tell you, Mr. Green didn't show up. Mr. Green, I guarantee you, Nick Reiner's brother and sister said, we are not paying for the defense of the man that murdered our parents. He can have a public defender. Enjoy. And I think when Jackson realized,
that's exactly what I think too.
Sayonara, dude.
From all reports, Alan Jackson, who most recently got Karen Reed off, and Karen Reed is now, by all reports, flat broke. So he requires at least a seven-figure retainer. It seemed very clear to me that after the shock of the murders wore off of the surviving siblings of Nick's, Jake and his sister Romy, that they said, no effing way is the trust going to fund his defense.
For weeks, those around the Reiners watched as tragedy compounded tragedy. First came the unthinkable allegations that Nick, the son of legendary filmmaker and actor Rob Reiner, was responsible for the violent deaths of his parents. Then came the court hearings, the sudden withdrawal of a high-profile defense attorney.
Let's head west to California, where Nick Reiner was supposed to be arraigned yesterday, but instead of getting arraigned, we had an attorney withdrawal. Alan Jackson, his high-profile criminal defense attorney, the guy who represented Karen Reed successfully and got her a not guilty last summer, had been hired. We talked about, geez, how can he afford this? I think we all agreed somebody was paying him because he doesn't do pro bono, even if it's going to be for a lot of attention. And now he bails, saying, actually, it's not going to be me. And he offered a little bit more. He wouldn't say why. He said he was prohibited by ethical rules from explaining why, but he's out. A public defender is in, and he offered the following in SOP 31 on his way out.
I'm legally and I'm ethically prohibited from explaining all the reasons why. I know that's a question on everybody's mind. We expect the public defender to step in. They've already been appointed and very capably protect Nick Reiner's interests as he moves forward through the system. But be clear, be very, very clear about this. My team and I remain deeply, deeply committed to Nick Reiner and to his best interests. What we've learned, and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that.
Okay, I just want to say that, Alan, you can save your righteous indignation for a case that doesn't involve a young man who clearly nearly decapitated his parents. Okay? Because this is not a media problem for your client. It's you took a knife and murdered your parents, loving parents by all accounts, problem. So just stop with your, the media, print that. Okay, all right. Exit stage left. Goodbye.
Would ask to withdraw his counsel's record.
And finally, the quiet but crushing family decision to step away entirely. What follows is not just a legal story, it is a human one.
We have devoted literally every waking hour to protecting Nick and his interests. We've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front. What we've learned and you can take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that.
Right?
Okay.
Maureen,
You know
right?
what? You know what you can't take to the bank? That retainer fee you didn't
Right.
get. That
Print me
you can't
some
take to the bank.
$100 bills. Why you take that?
All right,
to the
Maureen's
bank?
laughing. I want to know why you're laughing, Maureen.
That name now hangs heavy. According to insiders, the early days after Nick's arrest were filled with shock and denial. Family members struggled to reconcile the person they knew with the accusations they were seeing in headlines. One source described the atmosphere as a fog of disbelief, where conversations went in circles and no one wanted to be the first to say out loud what everyone feared.
It's from a friend who lives in the community. I heard that the son, Nick, went into his parents' house, stabbed both mom and dad, and that the daughter, I guess, lives on the property or at the house or in the back house, and that she found them, and that the mom was still alive, and apparently she called the ambulance and went in the ambulance with her mother. Michelle died in the ambulance, but had enough time to tell her daughter that it was Nick, their son, who stabbed them, and that's why they figured it out so quickly, and he's in custody.
My God. Romy's 28, FYI, but that's a critical piece of the prosecution's case right there, you guys. If it's called a dying declaration, it comes into court, even though it's hearsay because it's an out-of-court statement by someone.